morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to my weekend life. My name is Francisca Epale. I am a certified health and life coach, a former educator who has taught ESL and French for over 20 years in the United States, in Canada, and China, from middle schools up to university level. I am also the author of 4 books. I am a speaker with a Toastmasters designation, Distinguished Toastmasters, and I'm also a wealth creator with the Mind Assistance Program, aka the MAP book. Today, I am going to discuss how one person can make a difference. By that I mean the decision of one person can make a difference. That does not mean you should not work together, but it makes a difference if one person can start something. I'll give you an example. When I was in the United States, I did study in the United States. I did my post-secondary education in the United States, both my bachelor's, my master's, and my PhD. I didn't complete my PhD. When I was doing my bachelor's degree, I stayed in the dormitories, the residences, because I was new to the country. So I noticed that we did not have phone services in the summertime. When I came to the United States, August 19th, 1984, we did not have cell phones. We had home lines, or what they call landlines, in the dorms. So in the summertime, they switched them off to save money. So I inquired from my friends who were in other American universities and colleges if their phones are switched off in the summer, and they told me no, their phones are on all year round. So guess what I did? As bold as I am, those of you who know me, I have gumption, I'm kind of bold in certain aspects. I decided to write a letter, a very persuasive letter, to the president of the university. The president, or in some countries they call it the chancellor. That was late Dr. Foster Diebold. He is now of blessed memory. I remember very vividly some of the words I used. I remember telling him that it is so ironical that I live in the United States of America, one of the wealthiest nations in the world, just to be deprived of a telephone to which I am entitled to. What is the purpose of the phone in the room? Is it just serving as a means of decoration? I inquired from my friends who are in other American universities and colleges, and they told me that their telephones are on all year round. I am therefore begging you, imploring, beseeching, supplicating that you should have the phone company turn on our phones in the summer. So guess what? Not only did I send him the letter, I sent 10 other copies to other top-ranking university people. Why did I do so? If I send that one letter, they could tell me that they did not receive the letter as an excuse. I already had some work experience. So I sent it to 10 other people in the university, so they could not deny that they did not receive the letter. So guess what? The president responded, because I wrote on behalf of the International Student Association. I was the secretary, so I was writing on behalf of the International Student Association. So he wrote back to me and said, "You argue quite forcefully for the service you desire. I have spoken with the phone company, and there has been some deregulation, so we shall now turn on the phones in the summertime." So guess what? They changed the policy. Just me writing a letter. My American friends were shocked. They said, "How did you do that? Weren't you scared?" I said, "Scared of what? This is America, freedom of speech." I only asked for him to turn the phones on. And then they said that, okay, if there are no phones, you could ask the resident assistant to use their phone if there's an emergency. So I said, due to the different time zones, the time my parents would call me would be very early in the morning when everyone is still asleep. Does that mean that the resident assistant should be woken up from sleep? And do I only have to hear from my parents when there is an emergency? So they saw that I had a case. So they changed the policy. So one person can make a difference. Another way how one person or one person's decision who was at the forefront can make a difference was what we have here in Toronto. We had the Toronto refugee crisis, where asylum seekers and refugees, mostly from Africa, were sleeping on the streets of downtown Toronto because the shelters were all full. My opinion, if the shelters were all full, shouldn't there be a plan B? Everybody in life who is enlightened, educated, or has some kind of plain common sense have a plan B. So the poor men and women, even women who were pregnant, were lying on the streets of Toronto. And guess what? A good Samaritan, Mohamed Faki, founder of Paramount Fine Foods, CEO and founder, a Lebanese Canadian, came to the forefront and said that he's going to help the refugees. Within 24 hours, he organized 4 school buses and a few churches to take in the refugees. So Mohamed Faki, I want to thank you very much, and I want to thank all the volunteers. And there were many people who went downtown, were feeding them and giving them water and clothes. I want to thank everybody, because teamwork is essential. TEAM stands for Together Everyone Achieves More, or Together Everyone Achieves Miracles. So what I did yesterday, I found out that some of the refugees were staying at Revival Tabernacle Church. I called the church, and the lady said that she will call me back. She didn't call me back because they're busy. She could have forgotten. So I called again, and she said they have a lot of supplies at Tabernacle. I should take the supplies to another church, which is the Dominion Church International, 2256 Shepherd Avenue West. So today I had an appointment, and after my appointment I said it's just 10 minutes away. So I dropped some supplies at this church, and I got to speak to a few refugees. I watched them. Many of them were sleeping. Of course they would sleep, because they were sleep deprived for weeks. Some of them were reading, some of them were playing cards, some of them were talking. And one of them said to me, "Are you from Ghana?" I said, "No." And she said, "Thank you very much for the supplies." I said, "You're welcome." So I said something to the girls. I said, "No condition is permanent. Sorry about what you're going through. It's a temporary thing." And I said, "Some of you here are going to become millionaires, because it's always a case like that, and you're gonna reflect back and say, thank you, God, for allowing me to sleep on the streets, because today, because of hard work and determination, I am now a millionaire." I told them that. Then another thing, I'm also asking those of you who can, please donate to these refugees. They could be your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your niece, your uncle. No one knows tomorrow. The Bible said it's better to give than to receive. Something that I have noticed, the Chinese work together, the Indians work together, the Jews work together, but black people don't work together. So it's high time that we black people get together and help each other. So please, if you have not donated, I'm asking you to help out the refugees. And if you are a millionaire, I have my millionaire acquaintances. I know some of you in Toronto. I know you personally. I will not call your names. I've broken bread with you. We have eaten together. I've gone to your seminars, your workshop. You are millionaires. Go out and donate. Donate to a good cause. You will be you will be blessed mightily. So this is all I had to say, that one person can make a difference. So I want to thank Mohammed Fakir again. One more time, he was at the forefront. He made up his mind to help the refugees, and after that, they said that money was coming in. So that's all I have to say. Have a good morning, have a good afternoon, and have a good evening. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about a home remedy, a concoction that I use to lower my hypertension. Remember, I'm a health coach and I'm a life coach, so I will share my secret of how I lowered my blood pressure using this concoction. But there is a medical disclaimer. You may first seek the help of your doctor. What I'm going to show you tomorrow is just what I use, and it may or may not work for you. Thank you very much for listening. See you all tomorrow. Goodbye.